This is the only recorded outbreak of a zombie virus. This South Korean movie Guard Post 506 is based on a true event. There was indeed a bizarre virus outbreak at the Guard Post. The outpost was stationed at a remote border area near North Korea. When the headquarters received no response from the outpost, a team was dispatched to investigate, but no sooner had the soldiers entered the post than they found bloodstains all over the walls. Following the bloodstains on the floor, there were corpses all over the place. Among them was a soldier covered in blood, wielding a beheading axe and emitting eerie, guttural sounds. He looked like a demon returned from hell. The soldiers froze in place, but they regained their composure and subdued the bloodied soldier. The news of the tragedy at the post soon reached the military region. The fact that soldiers were killing each other was not good for morale. The commander suppressed the spread of the news while also seeking the help of Captain Seong-gyu, the leader of the investigation team, to look into the matter. Since the head of Guard Post 506 is the son of the commander-in-chief, the military chief is very concerned about this matter. They demanded that he be seen alive and dead. Captain Seong-gyu was dispatched to the scene to investigate promptly. Upon arriving at the outpost, Seong-gyu found the situation even more bizarre than anticipated. "Kill them all" was written in blood on the wall. Soldiers were also cleaning up the bodies in a pool of blood. The scene was chaotic, but Seong-gyu and his assistant managed to locate the lone surviving soldier, Jin-won, who was also a suspect in the massacre. However, Jin-won didn't have any identification, leaving his true identity uncertain. Seong-gyu and his assistant can only start their investigation with the soldier's household goods. Surprisingly, they found useful information. They found out the name of the man lying on the bed was Jin-won by comparing his photo. But after checking Jin-won's file, Seong-gyu couldn't imagine that he would be so cruel as to kill so many of his comrades. At that moment, someone was sent from above to take away the bodies of the victims. While checking the number, they found only 19 bodies. Guard Post 506 has 21 soldiers. Excluding Jin-won, the number of bodies should be 20. This meant that there was either one more body or a survivor yet to be found. Seong-gyu immediately ordered a carpet search of the post. Because of the pressure from the authorities, the soldiers in charge of transporting the bodies had to leave the post and go to the military area. During the search, a strange thing happened. The normally obedient military dog resisted entering the outpost, seemingly fearful. Meanwhile, Seong-gyu, who was looking through the soldier's diary in his office, found some strange clues. The night before the incident, while on guard duty outside, the military dog had been incessantly howling, disturbing their rest. Jin-won had sent a soldier to investigate and found the squad leader devouring the military dog. The diary came to an abrupt end here, and what followed was torn out, so there's no way of knowing what happened after that. While Seong-gyu was thinking about the case, the dog outside suddenly bit the soldier who was searching the area and then ran wildly towards the gate. It seemed that something dreadful was about to happen. Inside the room, Seong-gyu and his assistant discussed the progress of the case. The assistant revealed that the deaths were divided into two groups, one from 2 days ago and the other from the previous day. The weapons of the soldiers had seemingly been controlled by someone, making the killings easy. Another eerie detail was that despite the outpost's age, there wasn't a single trace of rodents. While Seong-gyu was contemplating these clues, the outpost's alarm suddenly blared. They had discovered the last surviving soldier, who was visibly agitated and traumatized. Once he calmed down, he revealed that he was First Lieutenant Jong-woo, the leader of Guard Post 506, and also the son of the overall commander. However, he refused to disclose any information about what had transpired inside the outpost, insisting on waiting until they reached the headquarters. The commander, upon learning that his son had been found, immediately called Seong-gyu and ordered him to bring Jong-woo to the headquarters. But Seong-gyu is unwilling to follow the commander's orders, and even at the risk of losing his uniform, he must investigate the matter thoroughly. After hanging up the phone, Seong-gyu returns to the interrogation room to find Jong-woo gone. The assistant said Jong-woo went to the office alone to change clothes. This development raised suspicions. When Seong-gyu reached the office, he caught Jong-woo tearing pages from diary.
What is it?
Seong-gyu sensed that Jong-woo was deliberately concealing something, but getting information out of him was proving difficult. Amid increasing pressure from higher-ups, Seong-gyu arranged to transport Jong-woo to headquarters. In the meantime, his assistant found a DV recorder in the cafeteria, containing a video recorded by Jin-won. He looks into the camera and says he's going to kill everyone here. Then the video cuts out for no reason. Seong-gyu and his assistant found descriptions of Jin-won in other soldiers' diaries. They found that Jin-won was a soldier's gangster. but he was very righteous and did not seem like a man who would kill his comrades. On the other side, the convoy transporting soldiers' bodies and escorting Jong-woo's vehicle was halted halfway due to heavy rain causing a landslide, covering the road with debris and making it impassable. Seong-gyu uncovered new clues. From Jong-woo's diary, he learned that a few days before the incident, the higher-ups were scheduled to inspect the outpost. To prepare, Sergeant Ma took 2 soldiers outside to clear weeds. However, they didn't return by evening. When Jong-woo gathered soldiers to search for them, the trio returned injured and trembling. Although they had sustained minor injuries, nobody paid much attention to it. That was until one of the injured soldiers began foaming at the mouth during an outdoor activity. Later, Sergeant Ma was found eating a military dog. A soldier on duty also found Sergeant Ma spitting mucus, with bloodshot eyes, staring fiercely at the soldier. This stare terrified the soldier so much that he fell from the 2nd floor. When questioned about the incident the next day, the soldier seemed to have no memory of what happened. Jong-woo realized that something was wrong with the 3 soldiers who had gone out to clear weeds. He planned to isolate them temporarily for safety reasons, but before he could give the order, a wounded soldier reported that one of the injured soldiers had died. Panic and eerie feelings gripped the entire outpost. At night, when it was Jin-won's turn for patrol, he overheard Jong-woo reporting to the headquarters.
GP, 총원 21, 현재원 21, 사고 무, 부대 이상 없습니다.
Jong-woo didn't intend to report the matter to the higher-ups, fearing its impact on his career advancement. Meanwhile, the vehicle carrying the bodies encountered roadblocks due to the blocked road and returned to guard post 506. But as soon as he got out of the car, Jin-won, who was seriously injured, didn't breathe. Seong-gyu had the soldier's body moved to the basement. Unexpectedly, Jong-woo kept shouting and refused to get out of the car when he returned to the post. The soldiers had no choice but to call Seong-gyu over. After seeing Seong-gyu, Jong-woo still insisted on leaving the post and refused to get off the train. Seong-gyu forcibly pulled Jong-woo out of the vehicle. Through threats and persuasion, Jong-woo finally revealed the truth. After isolating the 3 infected soldiers, Jong-woo had hoped the situation would improve. Unexpectedly, strange things kept happening. A soldier repairing a leaky pipe in the bathroom inexplicably started hitting his arm with a wrench instead of fixing the leak. He had no memory of doing it afterward. Due to these circumstances, Jong-woo decided to confiscate everyone's weapons for the sake of safety. Returning to the present, a soldier, during a shift change, noticed a new recruit standing perfectly still. He was greeted by his mates, but the soldier fell down when he touched him. This soldier was one of those previously bitten by a military dog. The army medic dismissed it as a mere cold infection, not giving it much thought. But strange things were still happening at the post. In the evening, when the assistant was going to the toilet, he heard a strange noise coming from the side. Upon quietly opening the door, the assistant found a soldier brutally smashing another soldier's head with a rifle butt. The assistant immediately sought out Seong-gyu. When they located the offending soldier, he denied the murder, claiming he had been on guard duty all along, but the bloodstains covering him were hard to ignore. After hours of interrogation, the soldier remained bewildered. At this point, the army medic noticed blisters forming on the soldier's neck. Rushing to examine the deceased soldiers' bodies, the medic found similar blisters on them as well. Ripping open the nearby soldier's clothes, the medic discovered blisters on them too. It was clear that a virus was spreading within the outpost, a virus that made people aggressive, bloodthirsty, and caused memory loss afterward. 3 weed-clearing soldiers had been infected and brought the virus back to the outpost. Now, the search team soldiers were also likely infected. The situation was spiraling out of control. Seong-gyu sifted through the belongings left by the soldiers in hopes of finding more clues. He stumbled upon a photo album containing a picture of the commander-in-chief with Jong-woo. Astonishingly, the Jong-woo in the photo was a different person. Rushing to the interrogation room, Seong-gyu confronted the imposter claiming to be Jong-woo, only to find out he was a medical corpsman. The real Jong-woo had been infected and had killed the initially deceased new recruit while under the virus's influence. For personal gain, Jong-woo chose to conceal the truth and never reported it. Coincidentally, Jin-won happened to pass by the office. The medical corpsman knew that staying here would lead to certain death due to the virus. He slipped out of the interrogation room quietly, intending to hijack a truck and escape. When the soldier found him, he killed him, and the soldier's head was covered in blisters. Astonishingly, the soldier who had just been killed came back to life. The medical corpsman intended to eliminate the soldier for good. Just then, Seong-gyu and others arrived, restraining him. But while everyone's attention was on the medical corpsman, the zombified soldier suddenly attacked. stabbing a nearby soldier with a knife. Luckily, Seong-gyu was able to kill the zombified soldier in time. At this point, the medical corpsman revealed the entire truth. The virus is spreading inside the post, but he's not infected, so he hides. Jin-won wanted to find him to understand the situation, but he met 2 infected comrades on the way, so Jin-won had to send them on their way. This explained the varying times of death for the bodies. Seong-gyu ordered all the soldiers to gather and arranged full-body examinations. As expected, over half of the search team members were infected. The soldiers who knew about the virus became increasingly fearful. Seong-gyu attempted to confiscate the soldiers' weapons, but they resisted fiercely. A fierce clash broke out. After the battle, both sides were killed and wounded. What's scary is that the infected soldiers didn't feel any pain even when their arms were broken. Returning to his office, Seong-gyu discovered that his assistant had also been infected. Tearfully, he had to personally eliminate the assistant. At this point, Seong-gyu finally understood Jin-won's actions stopping the virus's spread. Now, Seong-gyu chose the same path as Jin-won. He decided to kill everyone within the outposts. First, Seong-gyu locked the outpost's gates and doused the surroundings with gasoline, intending to destroy the entire guard post 506. But the infected soldiers had a premonition that Seong-gyu would kill them all. They didn't want to die, so they joined forces. Swiftly, they surrounded Seong-gyu and the army medic, leading to a chaotic battle that left both sides wounded. Ultimately, the infected soldiers shot and killed Seong-gyu and the medic. Only one of the soldiers survived. Meanwhile, reinforcements from outside arrived here. The soldier with the key is slowly approaching the gate of the post. What he didn't know was that Seong-gyu had planted a bomb at the door. The moment he opened the door, the fuse was pulled. The explosion consumed the entire guard post 506, erasing the virus and the truth along with it. As the film concluded, we also saw the complete video message left behind by Jin-won.
이것이 그 표시다. 한동안은 멀쩡해지는데 이때가 가장 위험하다. 죽어 있어야 한다.